you're doing okay there, bud. No! Does this look like somebody who's doing okay? Does this look like a mentally stable individual right now? Do I look mentally stable at this point in time, Blobby? Be honest. Be honest, friend. Okay, no, but it's not polite to point it out.
But this is a scroll. The ancient text. What does the statue give this time?
Friendship.
Ooh! Oh! It gives me infinite stamina, I think.
What?
To whoever you play that.
Oh. Whoops. I probably shouldn't have been playing it then, because I think it's out now. Wow. Wait, does it recharge?
But we also have a scroll. I'm gonna open it. I invoke the ancient spells of Dam. Oh, it's a diary. I have avocado. Well, do you have a pen? Because I have a pen. I have avocado. Ah, avocado pen. I have a pen. I have a lizard. Ah, lizard pen. Avocado pen. Lizard pen. Pam pam. Pen, avocado, lizard, pen. Pen, avocado, lizard, pen.
I'm about to commit what is the most humiliating act for a sniper. Get caught and interrogated by an enemy sniper that's behind your lines.
Where are the others? Locations now.
They're right there.
They're right there, yeah, okay, like the best callouts. And then I'm gonna steal your gun. There was a point in time where I cared enough about Marvel to learn who each person is, but live and learn! I lived and I learned that I don't really care that much about Marvel. That's what I learned.
My friend Jay invited me to play a sledding game, which is a very cute and cozy hangout simulator. So naturally I had to inflict maximum pain on him given the opportunity.
Fox, check this out.
Yeah.
There's a microphone here. Hello? Welcome to my
This is amazing. According to all known laws of aviation, there is no reason a bee should be able to fly. Its tiny little wings cannot support its body. Anyways, here's Wonderwall. Someday you gotta be da 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 to you. By now. Why do we need gravity? It's not like we actually need it, right? Like it's just something that has happened and we just kind of got used to it. If you think about it, all gravity does is hold us down. It prevents us from opening our wings and flying. But no, it just wants to hold us down. It's like the crab bucket. Oh, a crab is trying to escape? No! Back into the crab bucket. You do not escape. I'm onto you, CIA. I am onto you. You may think you know what my search history was last night, but I know what you were doing in Operation Plan Bob in 1950. 7? Was it 57 or 54? Either way, I am on to you, CIA. You cannot keep your secrets. Put me on a watch list if you must. Watch my stream. I would appreciate the extra viewership. Hehe. Break the statue, I don't need you. Nothing happened. Something happened. There is a red circle. When you say nothing happened, I take that to mean something you don't know about has happened. I may have doomed this world farther than it currently is already doomed. But something has definitely happened. I don't think something good happened, but something has happened. How is no one here? This is a hot zone. This is a hot spot. Hello there, friend. Are you smarter than a 5th grader? If you answer 5 questions right, you can win the grand prize. Would you like to give it a shot?
No.
Clear and to the point, thank you. I love lamps. I was a moth in a previous life. Not a Vtuber life, I'm talking about actual real life. I was a moth. How would I know, you may ask? I don't. I lied to you just now. When you lie, you can make things up. Tremendous concept. Now, did I have a reason to lie to you? Who knows? Am I lying about lying to you? Who knows? Am I being truthful about lying? Who knows? But I know. And what I know is that this has now given me a sword. Thank you. Stop lasering! I'm on fire, my lasers too! Hi! Greetings! I am alive. I am in fact not dead. I am breathing, I am walking, I am speaking. I am Tox, fending over there at force and probably not evil. Last week was rough. Very busy IRL. And that's gonna go on for a while, but at least now, things have kind of stabilized. That said, I have been asked to playtest a game a friend of mine made. I've consulted for him a little bit in the past. But now is the time for the playtest, not even the demo. I am playtesting the demo, which means we have a lot of things to break. And about breaking things, I want to share this part of our Discord conversation the other day, because I find it incredibly funny. So he says here, his name is Goo-chan. So he says here, so far the game should play without major bugs or crashing. So this gives us something to look out for. He seems very confident about that. He seems very confident about it. He also says like other things aren't like quite working as intended, and like UI, VFX, SFX, juice, and what's that over there? Tutorial is yet to be added, which is fine for a playtest. It's again playtest, not even a demo, not even a demo. So I say I take that as a challenge and send the burning Elmo. Let me move out of the way. There we go. So he says, if nothing feels broken, feel absolutely free to give honest thoughts about it, blah 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 blah. It's supposed to play like Mega Bonk in a small space, some different mechanics, 2 main weapons, but he's just telling me about the game at this point. He's just telling me about the game. And at this point, I've gotten the files, I just run the game to make sure it runs on my system without crashing, and I immediately found a bug. Would you call this a major bug? Or would you not? Changing the resolution with the window maximized. It just changes the screen area rather than the window area. And as I was doing that, he was typing. He says, you'll probably break the game if you try hard enough. Already broke it. Didn't even finish typing it before it broke. And I'm like, oh, it's gonna be a fun one tomorrow. I asked him if I could playtest this live. So this is what we're doing today. This is precisely what we are doing today. We are playtesting the game live. And again, I cannot stress this enough. I cannot stress this enough. This is not even the demo. This is the playtest for the demo. This is not representative of the final thing. This is very rough, more or less. And we're just trying to figure out where we can make it less rough. Now, this is about as far as I've gotten. I've gotten as far as the options menu. And once again, if I go off full screen here, you can see the bug I have located in its full glory. We're just gonna go full screen. Now, what else do we have here? Volume sliders, these work. These also save in between sessions, so that's working perfectly fine. I also tried saving it with like different resolutions and whatnot. That seems also perfectly fine. Controls. Here's the thing. First time in my life I ever see tertiary controls. There's usually primary, secondary. I really like how you can mix and match like computer or like keyboard and console input. I did test it as well while I just fiddling around in the starting soon screen. And I did find one more thing. So if you see here, like there's like a light up effect here. You can press on this, you close this. Oops. Did I double tap that? Okay, wait, reset. Did I double tap that? Oh, if you press escape, if you bind something to escape, it also takes it as like an escape action, so you also get booted back to the menu. Here's another one. But this is not what I was on about. This is not what I was on about. What I was on about is like territory controls here. You love to see it. You love to see like some bits and pieces here. The thing is, it kind of stops jump. You cannot bind anything else. Not even the light up effect doesn't even work. I am clicking on this. I am pressing buttons on this. Oh, WASD. WASD. You can move through this. I don't think this is an issue, honestly. This is just nice. This is just nice. And then like it also works with tab. What if I ooh, controls. What if I enter here? No. Nope. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. So anything under jump cannot be bound in territory controls. Now, when are you gonna need territory controls? Who knows? But it's there. So we must report that. And another thing. What's up here? What is going on here? Camera 1 is 1, camera 2 is 2, spawn press 3 is 3. I don't even know what a spawn press is. I don't know if it's supposed to be spawn press 3 and the tooltip is just like in the action category rather than some sort of tutorial. I have no idea. Then we jump on to 6, 7. Haha. And then we go back down to 4. I'm gonna guess these are temporary slots for potential actions. But I also can't help but notice that they are out of order and we are also missing 5. So I don't know what's going on with that part, but here's another one to report. And then look left, look right. This is only with right sticks. Oh, I'm also noticing there's no movement button rebinds. Judging from how this works, I'm guessing both WASD and arrow keys work, but I would like to be able to rebind them as well. So that then I can have WASD on look left and then, you know, arrow keys on look around, rather than having this specifically be controller specific inputs. So I'm gonna do the good old IJKL inputs for the looking stuff. Yippee. Because I wanna see how far away we can look from the screen. I wanna see if we can peer into the void. Okay, play. Immediate thing that pops out. There's no back button. If I press escape, it's like really exit the game. So if you press escape on that menu, it does not cancel the do you really want to exit the game? It just exits the game rather than canceling that. Understood. Understood. That's another thing. I would expect this. I would expect pressing escape here to cancel this window rather than close the game. Because that is consistent with like being in the options and pressing escape. It takes you back into the menu. Going to the credits, pressing escape takes you back to the menu. I would expect here pressing escape. At the very least, I would expect like a go back to menu button. But I would also expect pressing escape here to take you back to the screen you were on rather than close the game. So let's cancel out of that. Let's cancel out of that. Clicking on the cancel button does not work. Enter works. Enter works. That's great. Crusade. What is Crusade? Main weapon select. Shotgun. Confirm. Is this a game? Angel select. Complete run to get more. Okay. Not in demo. Not in demo. Okay. Okay. So Crusade is a game mode. Or maybe. Oh, Crusade looks to be the primary. Oh yeah, there's a back button up there. Does that work? That works. There's nothing to take you out of the Crusade menu. Okay, options. Oh, so this is the option button. This is the option button. Okay, then. So technically speaking, you do have access to the options. Does escape do anything there? No. I do not really want to exit the game. And clicking on that takes you back and forth. There should probably be something here. Menu on the side. It feels a bit like UI-wise. I know, Gu said like the UI juice is gonna be added later. The box feels a bit too large for what is currently happening. Maybe all of this box could be a symbol, and then like hovering over it reveals words. I'm not entirely sure. This part here, this empty void, feels very empty, especially with like a random element up there. Also, that sword element there. You see that is touching the top bar. That is like right on the edge pixel of the window. There should probably be a bit of a margin, so like bring that down from up there to maybe here, is maybe make this the top. There should be a bit of a margin, kind of like this. Like this should be like the margin to go off of on the option bar. Angels. No angels available. Complete a run to get more angels. The fact that this is not centered makes me think that they're... The stats are there, but they're invisible. There are stats there, but are invisible. Increase Pierce. How are they laid out? Anything else we can surmise? Anything else we can find? No, this is the only hidden thing. But yeah, stats are here but invisible. But what I was saying is that the fact that this is not centered makes me think that there probably is gonna be something here. It would be sick if you could have like... Maybe that is a thing that exists already. Maybe it's a thing that exists already. I just have not played the game. Maybe like... Because what I was gonna say, like, maybe like all the angels you collect after the run, like maybe they kind of appear here. That would be kind of neat. And then the menu here, no angels available. Like I'm imagining a bit of a menu here is, and then like maybe the angel model. But here's the stat screen, so we're gonna see how that works. Unlocks. Ooh, these are kind of juicy. Pretty basic looking, but like kind of juicy nonetheless. Easily readable on the rarity, so like you have common, rares, epics, legendaries, standard thingy, poses, weapons. Thing I noticed, it starts on the items tab. Yeah, it starts on the items tab, but the items tab here is not selected. It's not auto-selected. It's also like third in row. So what I would expect is like this being both selected, if this is the default, and I would kind of also expect like starting from the first tab. So off to the weapons here. Pistol, powerful, spreads 5 shots, damage. This is kind of weird how like the text lines up with the background. It doesn't feel like it's part of the space. It just feels like text overlaid over the background, if that makes sense. Yeah, this is like this is causing a bit of like clutter, causes like a bit more a claustrophobic feeling. What else do we have? Deal damage with pistols, kill 5k enemies, blah 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 blah. These are great. These are great. These work alright. Poses. I'm not entirely sure what the toggle does there. Raise luck by 5. Item damage XP by 5. Okay, so these lack names. That's not our concern right now. And I guess this would be explained. It would be explained what poses do in the tutorial. However, I'm guessing if the tutorial is part of the crusade here, and then like you go into the menu here, and then blah blah blah, choose here, and then like you are put in the tutorial. If somebody were to take the menus down in order, they would run into these before. Wait a second. Does it? Oh, this is cool. It saves the last menu you were on. So maybe in the full build then, it does actually start from the starting thing here. I still would like to see this selected, rather than having the unlock tab selected like that. It's available, options, quests. But when you select this, it takes off the stroke from the unlock tab. So I would also like to, not like, I think it will work. Here's like a thing. Here's how you give good feedback. You don't make judgments on the thing. You don't say like, oh, I like this, I don't like that, even though I do kind of say, oh, this is juicy and whatnot with the items earlier and whatnot, but that's not important. How you give good feedback is saying, oh, this works or this doesn't work because blah, 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 blah. So a thing like here, like the stroke, only being, like I said, we only have one stroke for the entire unlock tab. I think it works better. Ooh, on options it also does this, I just now realized. I think it would work better if the stroke remained on the actual primary tab here. Because you also have the window come up. You're on a tab here, the tab is selected, but it doesn't have any stroke. If you click on it, then it has a stroke. But then it removes the stroke from that. I think it will work better. I think it will work better if the stroke remained. This is just like minor stuff though. Okay, quests, weapons, poses, items, boop-a-boo, boop-a-boo. And it doesn't scroll here, it does not scroll here. There's not also enough things to scroll, so I can test to see how, if the scroll can break. Oh, this scrolls. This scrolls. Okay, no over-scrolling, no arrow key shenanigans, no WASD shenanigans. Oh, although here, if I go up and down, if I press up from here in the scroll tab, it just goes up onto the item and poses thingy. And then if I press more up, God knows where that went. It went all the way to the options, but that was not obvious. Like the scroll was not obvious. Oh, it kind of is. It kind of is. Look at that. It changes the thing. It changes the thing. It's very subtle. It's a very subtle change. What I would expect here to do is scroll up the list before going up to the menu. So I would expect create a hand of times. I press up instead of going to items. I would expect it to scroll up and go to don't take damage for 2 minutes. And so on and so forth. Same with like going downwards. Yeah, it just selects Crusade at that point. Try scrolling backwards. What does scrolling backwards mean? I'm scrolling all directions I can. Also, hello, door! Door giveaway when? I'm not gonna turn myself into a door. That's gonna kill me. That is gonna kill me. Do you think I am made out of regenerative tissue? Like a tree would be? Nay, friends, nay! You're not gonna make a door out of me? You're not gonna make your Minecraft base out of me? Colluding with the axe wielders, are we? Yes, mates. And then we have upgrades. I am going to assume that this is not fully implemented. Because I have no idea what things do just from their icon. I mean, I can take a guess. Probably damage, probably health up, probably luck, more XP, faster shooting, faster reload, crit damage. God knows what this is. More money, more speed, revives maybe. God knows what that is, and rerolls. But yeah, I am going to assume that there's gonna be some sort of explanation or maybe a tooltip showing up as you hover over them when they're more implemented. So that said, hey, we can play the video game now. We can play the video game. That's enough faffing on about the menu. Oh, stronger demons. Okay, and it's a checklist. It's not immediately obvious to me that this is a checklist. I'm immediately seeing this menu. I thought stronger demons was already selected, and all the other ones were just not. So what's really happening is that these are not selected, or rather, these are not unlocked, so I cannot select them. I don't know how to unlock them. Probably more crusades and whatnot, but like a little tooltip here would also work very, very well. and also something to indicate that this is a checklist item rather than thing. Also, the checkbox here, it feels like too much like a normal checkbox, you know, like something along these lines with the trims we have here. Something along those lines, maybe like a little arrow stylized in the same way as the crest here. That would work tremendously well. Maybe just have that like select for like selecting things here in the first place. I don't know. That said, we do have access to one map. I would like to see a map name, or rather, I need to stop saying I would like. This is not how you give good feedback. I think having a map name, hover, or maybe somewhere around here with like maybe a little lore blurb, so description of the map, something along those lines, that would work fairly well. Because right now I'm just like clicking on a room and I have no idea what the room entails. And also when I hover over it, it kind of stretches a little bit and hides the stroke there. Now, some movement when you hover over, some like tactile feedback, that does work very well. That is very nice. It tickles my brain. I'm not entirely sure this is the best way to have it implemented. Confirm! Okay, loading took a bit. That's fine. Now, he did also mention, Gu also mentioned... Oh, I clicked left mouse button and we are now locked. Yeah, we are now locked in camera perspective. If I click on this anywhere on the sides... Wait, if I click anywhere... Oh, wait, no, it can't... I'm not entirely sure how the behavior works there. So, but clicking the mouse button locks you out and unlocks the cursor. What is that? Okay, so let's say these are... Oh god. Big legs. Ooh! Two things I notice. This, the icon, the whole like beams of light around, super juicy. Choose a reward. I maybe put that a bit more upwards, because right now it touches the middle beam of light. But also very, very juicy, especially having seen the previous text. Good job there. That said, text here, common, very hard to read. Very hard to read. It blend like the trim is nice. The background and the text are nice in a void, but like the combination of them, this is very hard to read. And also, I'm not entirely sure what the lines are there for. I feel like that could be removed and we would absolutely lose nothing for it. If anything, it would make things clearer. But given how, like, see how prominent the lines are in the background there? And how thin the lines are? Like, the thickness here, this is not enough to differentiate it. It kind of just blends and creates a lot of visual noise. So, like, either the icons or the background, something needs to be done for that. And maybe, like, even have the background kind of extend into the icon here. Maybe have that, like, the stained glass as part of the icon. Or maybe have the stained glass only be the icon, so that way, yeah, because the symbols here, they don't blah, 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 what words am I looking for? They don't blend in as much as the outlines there, and then we could have that be maybe a bit more solid, so that way the trim and the text would support it quite well. Like, that's already like it's enough. It's already like quite enough detailing to go with the theme of the game, the gothic theme. That said, increase shotgun damage. I think I have a shot. Oh, but increase all damage by 5%. No, I think, yeah, I do have the shotguns. Now, what is this? What's being summoned here? Big door. This is just me not knowing how to play the game issue, not a game issue. So let's see. Okay, this should probably maybe have collision if we have like random assets here. I would love to see them be able to move around as well. Oh, Fatehaver. Not entirely sure that's the best place to put the achievements. Or have them freeze in place like that constantly to hide. I don't even know what that is. That's the sword from earlier. The sword that was like on the top right. It's now on the top left. Is that kills? I'm not entirely sure. Increased all reload time by... Nah, just increase my shotgun damage. Again, okay, the left click here is kind of bothering me. Ooh. Right click also does this, and right click, unlike left click, it does not go back in if you click it again. There's something going on whenever you pick up items. I think he mentioned something along the lines that is absolutely not optimized whatsoever. But like, ooh, oh, okay, I clicked on that. That may have been me. That's on me. I was not expecting clicking on that part and not the buttons at the bottom to have any sort of action happening. Now this is very much Souls-like in that it auto-shoots. You don't get to aim. That is perfectly fine, in line with the genre. Increase Sealed Angel Fire, Sealed Angel Bond. So that's the Sealed Angel that I've got, right? Now just give me more crit. Just give me more crit. I do need to figure out what to do with these guys. I'm going to guess that you somehow kill and you somehow open up those things there. You kill those dudes. You kill those. The other dudes, and then like the big blood door opens. That's just like the tutorial just not implemented. That is normal, perfectly fine. The lag spikes here, those are also known about. I was warned about this. I'm not entirely sure what that item is or does. And the way that it's kind of like floating as a 2D sprite compared to everything else is kind of weird. Kind of strikes me as not entirely fitting into the space. Increased luck by 3. I mean, enemies-wise, this seems about... Whoop, okay, like things seem to be working. I can walk through them. Increase all damage. I can walk through them, which I feel like kind of diminishes them in some way, because I feel like they should be able to block you, especially in tight spaces like this. Now, I would not expect them to block me, just seeing them as they are right here, but I think gameplay-wise it would make sense. But then again, at the same time, it also does add a bit of an interesting decision to make. Do you walk through the enemy and take damage, or do you just not do anything? Okay, so clicking on the stats here is gonna, I guess, take the angel. Clicking on the angel is not gonna take that. Slight like little brain tickling moment here. I wish you could rotate them. And maybe headbutt them, kind of like in eugenics. But like, they're 3D either way. I do wish you could rotate them, just for the fun of it. Just spin, 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 spin the angel. Hovering over the skip button over here, it does increase the... I can't quite tell, actually. Gain 1 level, it does something weird. Oh no, it makes it bold. It makes it bold, and it being bold is just enough to push the right parenthesis off the bounding box. What else do we have? Reroll? I have a feeling this is not entirely centered by like maybe 2 pixels. Maybe 2 pixels. Same with the acquire. No, acquired, I think, is centered. Actually, no, I think it's like 1 or 2 pixels to the right, maybe. When it goes bold, it definitely is not centered. Like, it goes off to the right a little bit. Same with reroll, same with... Skip actually stays in place. Skip is, like, perfectly placed. But the gain one level part is a bit, like, just off. I take it. I will take it. I will take it. We're... What has occurred here? What has occurred? Oh, I died. I have minus 5 HP. That's what happened. Understood. What did I die by? I'm not entirely sure. You died. You failed. You lose. Thingy in the middle here. Big letters. Big, bold letters. Would love to say that. Would work very well. Boop, 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 boop. Anything else that works here? No. Press some buttons just in case. I am not sure what I pressed exactly. It was somewhere around the VBNM. Somewhere around the bottom row of the keyboard. Maybe HJKL. Somewhere around there. I'm not entirely sure what button caused the angel to appear in the background there, but that's probably a bug. What happens if we acquire? What happens if we reroll? What happens if we skip? We cannot do any of that. Can we do it with the button prompts? No. Confirm still works in that case. That is great. Is that free run? Legally not. Legally speaking, it's not free run. Oh, and then you get the bounding boxes for the stats. They kind of go off screen, friend. They kind of go off screen. And again, I would like to be able to spin them, kind of like, yeah, like see, like they're 3D already. Like you could have the animation there, and then you could spin them, maybe headbutt them if you go like up and down motion on a vertical motion, and then like spin for horizontal. But yeah, legally not free run. Legally not free run. Let's go to another crusade. Let's try pistols this time. Angel select. Oh, you can bring the angels you already have. Sick! I grow more powerful by the second. So, Toes, what we are doing right now is... This is a playtest for the demo. So the game is incredibly broken. It's made by a friend of mine. And we are playtesting. We are making sure that everything kind of works. I'm being like super pedantic. I'm just like voicing any and all thoughts I have on this. I'm just gonna send them the entire VOD and some timestamps afterwards. Let's see. I do like how that descends. That is like a juicy descent animation, but like the way it's 2D here compared to like all the... Can I get close enough without picking out? Yeah, compared to like all the money, all the enemies, all the everything else. Maybe it's placeholder. Maybe it's placeholder. I would expect this to also be a 3D asset, and I also still don't understand what that does. Oh, does it send down an angel? Is that an angel summoning thingy? Is that an angel summoning thingy? Oh ho. Okay, what if I just press... Okay, I'm just gonna spam one button at a time. So I can maybe figure out what causes things to happen. I don't see any action being taken when I press random buttons, which is probably for the better. However, pressing on the start screen, clicking on the start screen does in fact cause you to acquire the angel. I would expect there to be absolutely nothing happening when you do that, rather than get the angel. Like the interaction in that menu I would expect to only happen with the buttons themselves, not like any UI elements or like any box elements. Hi, Tox friends. I'm gonna tell him you said hi, Toes. I'm gonna tell him you said hi. Oh yeah, there was also the look around thingy. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, this does not clip through the floor. Can we clip through the wall? We can clip through the wall. Yeah, if you use the look functions, you can in fact peer into the void. Behold, the void. And then you can also make it a top down. It does not loop all the way around, which is nice. And it does not clip through the floor, which is also nice. It does clip through walls, as we have found out. Oh, curiously though, it does not clip through the blood wall. Does it clip through all walls? Yeah, okay, and it's only at a specific angle. It needs to be like slightly downwards. It needs to be slightly downwards for it to function. What have I found here? Wait, hold up. There is interesting things in the void. Well, yeah, look at that. There's a hole. Oh, and you get to see the enemy spawn. That's lovely. What? Oh, and they... Okay, so that... You kill enemies. You kill enemies outside the playable area. And I'm guessing that I'm dead. I'm guessing that the red thingy, there was a red gem there that usually, going from other bullet heaven games, that usually happens when there's enough XP thingy accumulated so that it doesn't just absolutely lag the game out. But like, if you can shoot enemies through that and they drop XP outside the playable area, and then that XP accumulates on that, you are... I think I would chalk that down to a major bug. So, Jokes and Yugu, you said there's no major bugs. I have found one. You fool! You absolute buffoon! That's a major XP loss that affects the gameplay. We've done it. We have located the major bug in this game. Can you stomp enemies? No. Right now, the enemies do not have a hitbox. You just kind of walk right through them. Let's go back to shotgun. Okay, I'm not entirely sure what's happening here, but I can only select the one angel there. Oh, that's what's happening. That's what's happening. Okay, I see. So you can put a... Oh, what? You can put angels in any slot. No, I put that on slot 4 there. But this, I cannot put any other ones on other slots. There's like some weirdness happening with like how the slots are being decided. I can only put angels up to the 4th slot. Yeah, these last two do not work for any of the angels. Slot 4 works for everyone, but then if I want to put something on slot 2, it happens, but then... There's just some weirdness happening here, and I'm not entirely sure how to articulate that. Not entirely sure. Let's go into the game until I figure out how to say that. I'm also not entirely sure why the big XP thingies spawn regardless here. Maybe that's just a game choice. Maybe that's just like a game choice. I've actually not noticed. I've not noticed if it happens or regardless of like me entering the game or not. Maybe they just like naturally spawn there. Look outside the wall again really quick. Okay. Because like what I initially thought happened when I saw this, it was that where all the drops from the previous round, kind of just held over, but I'm not entirely sure if that's what's happened. I'm not entirely sure that that is what happened. Okay, so that the 2D thingy is in fact an angel spawning thing. I think having a little tooltip, like on the same tooltip as the stats bar on the actual main menu, or like the angel menu, over here when you hover over the stats, that would work very well to figure out what they stats. Because right now, I can surmise what they do. So like speed, health, strength, magic strength, and sealed? Question mark? Question mark. I can surmise what they do, but like it would be nice to have the tooltip over there to be able to absolutely confirm. So let's see, any weird interactions with the wall? Not that I can see here. Oh god, I'm talking on my own. Oh. So where's the blood wall? Where's the blood wall prevents the camera from clipping? Yeah, going under it or going around it, kind of like that, and clipping in this way, that works. Try jumping into a corner. That is indeed a classic. I'm not sensing any. Yeah. See, like it seems like there's an invisible wall there already. So like it already locks me in because I'm not getting all the way to the wall, which is perfectly fine. Which means that the safeguard is there. The safeguard is there, and the enemies, since the enemies don't have collision. Wait, do the spiders do knockback? No, they do not. So they cannot push me into the wall to test like that. Oh, them coming through the wall like that? If they had like a special animation rather than going through the wall, walking through the wall, maybe like the spiders could just be crawling in. Or better yet, like have a dark portal open wherever they like enter from, wherever they spawn from. Have like a little dark portal open. And then that way they could either have a special animation coming in, or it would make a lot more sense for them to crawl in through the wall. What I would suggest is having... Because like enemies spawning outside the wall, like that's just standard stuff. That is how all Bullet Heaven games work. They all spawn outside the screen, outside the playable area. The players are... Ooh, legendary. That's very nice. That's very nice. Very shiny. The little rotating beam of light on the legendary. Oh wait, no, it's because I had my my thingy over it, my cursor over it. That would explain. What is that? There's something down there. I don't know what this is or what that's from. Unclear. I'm trying very hard to see if there's like, yeah, because see, there's sometimes it bleeds, like the center beam of light, it bleeds onto the, it bleeds onto the side ones. So see, like it's gonna go right. It's this beam of light specifically. This beam of light that I have my cursor over specifically. I don't know why it's just that. Oh, and that one too. This one too. So maybe either mask it or make it a lot bigger to the point where like it's super obvious. Because right now it's like having it only be a pixel or two, a couple of pixels in, it makes it seem unintentional. How many bullets does a shotgun hold before reloading? It's a bullet heaven game, kind of like Vampire Survivors, kind of like Mega Bonk. So, infinite, you don't need to reload. Actually, wait, no, you do need to reload. Ah, now that you mention it, Toast, now that you mention it, that's another good thing to know. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It looks to be 4. It looks to be 4 bullets. Or rather 4 shells. A visual indicator of that would work quite well, I think. Or maybe... Whatever Megabonk does Megabonk have a reload indicator? Does Megabonk have a reload indicator? I can't remember. Maybe like a little bar appearing over the top whenever you reload to signify the cooldown? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Shield Angel, Stamina Form. 50 bonus damage for 50 seconds. Oh no, that's a pickup I got, I think. One thing I'm realizing is that I'm not entirely sure what the angels do. They are all called Shield Angels. They have different stats. I don't think we've seen another type of angel. But at the same time, the shields... Oh no, we have seen a shotgun angel. An angel with a shotgun. I am dead. If you get too many achievements, it kind of does this and just goes off screen. I think a scroll bar here would be nice. Either a scroll bar or just make them super small. Or icons in a grid formation and then it tells you what each thing is when you hover over it. Any of those could work. Oh, I should have tested to see what the angel thing was. What buttons I pressed there. Upgrades. Okay, so I can buy upgrades. I don't know what they do. I can only guess. Again, tooltips here would be nice. I'm trying not to repeat myself too much. Wait. Did I say that right? Oh, I think what may be happening here... Angels? Wait, no, what's the angel menu here? Nope. Okay, never mind. Because I was gonna say, I think what may be happening is that... Okay, I want to test something real quick. I'm not gonna pick up the thingy. I'm not gonna pick up the XP thing right in front of the blood door. What if I... Oh, the option menu here is different than other option menus. Restart the game. I think what may be happening is that you only have a set amount of angel slots and you need to unlock the rest. That's why I cannot put any angels on the last two. I would expect that to be communicated with like either being darkened out or a lock icon or something. Okay, again, I'm not gonna pick up the one right there. I'm gonna pick all the other ones. Because I want to see, I'm not entirely sure if it saves the locations of pickups. I'm also not gonna pick up that gem, that specific one. But yeah, what is the difference between restart and main menu? Because to me that seems to do the exact same thing. Give me my angels, there we go. Okay, so what if I do pick this up then? What if I do pick this up, go back... Oops, not only options. Give me my angels again. Okay, so they just spawn every time. They just spawn anew every time. That is fine. That's perfectly fine. Having like a bit of XP to work towards in the game. If you pick the 5th angel, do they join in on the circle? I don't think... I don't remember how many slots there are. I need to see that again. The last 2 slots, they seem to be locked. They do seem to be locked. And I need to unlock them, probably through the meta upgrades. Oh, here's a suggestion. Here's a suggestion for what, instead of like the 2D sprite thing, it could just be like, there's already a beam of light. It could just, the beam of light could just be a lot lighter and then just like have maybe like a circle on the ground and have the 2D sprite be part of the circle. So that way it would indicate that, oh, stand in the beam of light here to summon an angel. And it would look a lot less like a pickup because it's technically not a pickup, it's a summoning circle. Okay, angel with a shotgun. Acquired. So I'm guessing then, like, right now we have shotgun angels and sealed angels. I would assume that there's probably a lot more types in the full game. It's just what we have right now in the... Once again, I cannot stress this enough. Playtest for the demo. This is not even the demo. This is the playtest for the demo. Let's see. What else is there? What's that? Press E to open. Oh! Oh, so I need to open this. I need to use 50 gold to open this. Something seems not entirely right with whatever that is in front. Ah. Okay, so here's the thing. The chests, they spawn open. They spawn open, so I thought that walking over them, this entire time I thought that walking over them gives you items, but you need to actually interact with them. So in that case, I would expect them to spawn closed. And also maybe have some sort of stronger visual indicator rather than a tooltip. Because like the tooltip right now, it blends into the environment quite well. And you also don't really have a lot of time. You don't have a lot of time to read a full tooltip when there's a bunch of enemies around. So maybe just like when you approach, maybe just like 50 gold just right over top, kind of like Risk of Rain does it. So when you approach, just have that pop up, I guess. This is like early. I see. Yeah, it's super early. It's literally like it's literally just my friend's game that he asked me to playtest. Otherwise, like you cannot even play this. He did say the demo comes out in maybe like a week or two from what he told me. So it should be publicly playable soon, TM. Open. Ooh, funky music, funky animation. Epic. Time sound. 2% sounds to increase reload speed by 50% on kill. Yeah, I love to see it. The item here and the item here, they're vastly different qualities. So is the chest. There's like a lot of different things happening. Also, cheeky. Look at this. The item appears before you open it. So it appears when it already decides what's inside the chest, which kind of ruins the whole surprise of rolling and pulling for this. The circle animation, though. Holy juicy! Holy juicy animation! But I don't know what happens here, but it seems to like stupidly degrade. Also, Moses stuff, it just kind of does this. It rolls around. And also staying for that, we only got a tiny little glimpse of that. Staying on that menu for a long time, it makes the music very clearly loop. So maybe either choose a song that loops more seamlessly, or if you're using MP3 files, stop doing that. Stop using MP3 files. Use a .wav, W-A-V, because the MP3 adds like a tiny bit of a delay when it loops. Well, most stuff have like 3 items at once. A lot more than that. Okay, this works. Stoicism works. 30% damage when not moving. Understood. But yeah, something happens with the sprites here that vastly degrades their quality based on that. And like the way they float next to the chest like that, it seems very out of place. It just seems like it's just overlaid over the top of that rather than having it be just intentionally laid out like that. And again, I do not understand what's happening here with the front part of the chest. Are these nails of some description? Not sure. Not entirely sure. The music and the chant when you get items though, spectacular. The issue is when it goes on for too long. And just loops like that. Yeah, when it does that. It very clearly fades out. It is not meant to be listened to for long periods of time. Maybe a small hovering up and down animation, Toad says, and I am inclined to agree. Some teeny tiny little bit of extra visual interest. Here's the thing though, here's the thing. I'm not entirely sure whether or not the items are the final sprites or not. Because to me, they seem like placeholder art. But I'm also not entirely sure. Like, it could technically work. I think, like, the icons here, they do seem placeholder E, but they're also not, like, super out of place. Neither are the items. That's why I'm not... Oh, that's a big one. That's a big one. Thick thigh mummy demon. I see you. I don't see you anymore. You have perished. You have been sent to the Sal realm. I really like this song, though. Oh. I don't know if I leveled up here or I found an exploit. I did press like a bunch of buttons at the bottom of the keyboard yet again. No, okay. Nothing happened. So once again, even the enemies that spawn through the walls, I already mentioned that like we could have like a little bit of a black hole gateway to hell kind of thingy happening when they pass through. We could probably do the same. We could probably do the same for enemies that pop in through the floor, because like right now they kind of just start small. They start small and then they just get big. Literally the exact same thing with a little black hole, a spinny little black hole void dimension hell thingy, hell portal. It would add so much more immersion, I guess, to it. And it would also like up the threat a little bit. It would give them a bit more gravitas, the enemies. Oh, especially the elite, the big thigh mummy demon from like a minute or two ago. That could, like, having a slower pop-in animation for that and just seeing her slowly rise from the portal. That would be sick. That would be sick. I'm trying to think, what else is there to test that I have not tried to break just yet? We've already established walls here. They're already done great. You cannot clip out. That would be a super major. That would be a super major bug. But no, the only major thing we found so far is these XP thingies here being able to be consolidated outside the playable area. So maybe make bullets affected by this wall here, so they cannot pass through and go kill enemies outside the playable area. And at that point, the XP also becomes a non-issue because the enemies would not die there either. Now, if you kill an enemy next to a wall and the XP clips through, it would be nice if we had a safeguard against that. At the same time, though, it's a bullet-heaven game. It happens in Vampire Survivors, so like XP clipping through walls. It happens to Mega Bonk to an extent, clipping into walls, I think. It's nothing new. It's nothing new. But I would like to see something to be able to mitigate that so that we don't get to kill enemies outside there and lose out on major XP. This is a super teeny tiny thing that I've just now noticed. The timer up top. Hey, thankfully I can click to unlock the cursor. I'm still not entirely sure what the use case for this would be. Oh, wait. That was an interesting interaction. Wait, I kind of want to level up again. Or maybe enter a chest. Oh, wait, no, because the chest already unlocks my cursor. Oh, Horn of Salvation. Horn of Salvation and Moses' staff. They're both broken and they don't... Their animation kind of keeps going. I have perished. Okay, two things I want to point out before I forget. But first, must equip angels. Okay, number one. Timer here. Timer goes down. Bar goes up. This may just be a me thing, but I find that very annoying. Because temporally we are going both backwards and forwards in time at the same time. So maybe either have this being filled out and slowly drain out, or maybe have the timer go... No, because like the timer go... This is a me thing. This is just something This is just me being super pedantic and finding something super annoying for no reason. Ignore that part, Guru. Ignore that part. The other thing I want to see, because I'm not entirely sure, I caught a glimpse of it. When you level up and your cursor is unlocked and you select something... Yeah, you select something with keys here. Your cursor disappears. But you are still locked. So you need to click again, unlock it, click again to relock it. This is not something major. It's just something that probably should not be there. And then level up again. What happens if I do click on an item? Okay, so even when you do click on an item, it still does the same thing. So it's not just selecting it without clicking. It's at any point in time you have your cursor unlocked and the screen pops up. It's gonna remain locked, or rather it's gonna remain unlocked, but the cursor is not gonna be there, it's not gonna be visible. And you're gonna have to double click. This could be fatal. You know. You could kill a man like this. Do you want to kill people, Guru? Do you want to kill people? I mean, given the amount of demons that's spawning here, probably yes. Here's another thing. I think, balancing-wise, it feels a bit easy up until... Cause, I mean, I don't know. It feels like you can kind of just ignore them for the most part. Them having hitboxes and being able to push you around, it may increase it, but I think you can get away with having like about 10% more things spawning. Because right now I feel like very safe. I feel like I'm having a nice little leisurely walk through this cathedral here. Acquire. Oh, that was fair. I don't even think I can call that one a legally distinct Freeran. I'm pretty sure that just was Freeran. Ah, here's another interesting thing. You press E to open the chest, but then you have to manually click the open button. I think it would work quite well if you could, you know, continue pressing E or space or left click or something. Preferably E, as you're already... Okay, Horn of Salvation, we've already noted that. Preferably E, as you already press E to open the chest. That's just like a nice little quality of life thingy. Especially like if in later rounds and whatnot, there's a bunch of enemies, you kind of just walk by a chest really quick. You would kind of want to be able to quickly adjust and take that, or you know, just like have the breathing room. Right now it's a bit too much breathing room. The demon horde is here. I just called the tooltip up there. That said the demon horde is here. I'm not entirely sure what that entails. I'm guessing just increased enemies. Oh, it's the elite. It's the elite. Okay. I would, if we have an announcement for that, a specific announcement, maybe have it be a bit more prominent. Would be my suggestion. Because I am certain I've seen that in a lot of other rounds as well, but this has been my first time actually noticing it. And also, the elite died like very, very easily there. It died very easily. Like, overall, I think we cannot... It can be afforded to make this, like, at least 10 to 15 times harder as a base difficulty. I don't think that would be too crazy. A sound effect, Toes suggests, yet again. A sound effect would be nice for the Demon Horde, but at the same time, though, like, still, it would... I would like a visual indicator. If, like, the tooltip is there either way. It might as well be, you know, useful. Prominent. Now, I am very much just interrupting the animation, just cutting out of that to go back in by pressing E, space, and left click, actually. I should probably, yeah, slow down a second and figure out exactly what it is that I am... Space. I'm pressing space. Interrupting the animation there. That's honestly great as is. That is great as is. Because, like, especially when... Ooh, legendary! 10% to explosion, he dealing 50% area damage. I like explosions! Yes, please! The explosions are not implemented as explosions yet. Understand. Understood. What was I saying? What was I saying? I was in the middle of saying something. Then I was interrupted by my love of explosions. I was interrupted by my love of explosions. Oh yeah. I think it was being able to interrupt the animation. Great as is, because when, like, more experienced players, they just kind of wanna get on with it. So there's no need to watch the full animation, no need to animation lock. Perfect, no notes on that. No notes on that. I would love if they both had the word explosions on it. That would be funny. That would be funny. At the same time, I don't think the ball is gonna be a permanent feature, Toes. I don't think it's gonna be a permanent feature. I think we're gonna have a juicy ball of explosion. It does make me kind of wonder though, because, like, I'm noticing the explosions move sometimes. Yeah, like that. They move. When I think of an explosion, I either think of it as expanding or stationary. Depending on, like, how you want to balance it. I don't really see explosion as a moving projectile type of thing. I don't see it as a wave. So maybe rather than having them God, I'm losing my voice. Maybe rather than having them move forwards like waves, kind of like have them, like, either expand from place or just, like, be stationary. I think... I mean, it's definitely worth a test either way. For both versions, but I think just stationary explosions would work fairly well in this scenario here. Because if there's explosions, I would guess that there's gonna be eventually an item that increases area. So if they were expanding, you could very well just get maximum super mega area, and that covers the entire screen. That is fine. Oh god, what's? Hold up a second. I need some water. My voice is doing things. This is also your reminder to hydrate, because if you don't hydrate, you sleep paralysis demon, which is legally not me, just like the ends are legally not freeing. It's gonna show up tonight and waterboard you for all the water that you should have drank during the day that you did not. So make sure to hydrate. Now, this is not a playtest opinion, this is just a Tox opinion rather. Given how we can go up on the blood altars here and things can spawn on that seemingly like without issue, I would love to see some verticality in the maps. Maybe not this map. This map is like the first map anybody ever plays. This is the super basic map. The Ed Sheeran White Girl music, the Taylor Swift music of maps. I would like, and this is truly a moment to use like rather than work, because this is definitely like my own opinion here. I do think it would work, but I would also, more than that, I would just like to see more verticality. I would like to see being able to like parkour a little bit on maps. Maybe like some shelves, maybe a staircase, maybe something. I think it would add a nice little bit of variety. And variety is the spice of engagement. Whoop. I have perished. Just before we go to the winning screen. I feel like I need to win at least one match, right? Like that's the only thing I've not explicitly tested. Okay, let's get Freeren, let's get Flam. Sure. Oh, she's got a flamethrower as well. That's essentially magic. That is just Freeren. That is just Freeren. Her eyes are orange rather than green and a bit of red like Freeren's, but that is just Freeren now. Come on, man. Come on. Is it legally distinct enough? I guess she has angel wings. Twin tails are not really entirely copyrighted. It's the face, though. It's the face. That said, holy flamethrower. I do like that. I do like that. Once again, I'm starting to realize 4 at 3. That is very, very flammable. I like fire a bit too much. The flame effect, though, it's pretty juicy. Oh, and we get another flame angel. I wish there was a way to use the angels you acquire mid-run and maybe swap them out for the angels you brought in. Or maybe that's more of a balancing thing than anything. I'm not entirely sure what would work best in this case. I do know that I'm kind of salty that I cannot bring the second flamethrower angel I saw in the chest with me right now. I would very much like to bring the flamethrower angel in with me. But alas, I cannot! Because on one hand, being able to bring in your powerful angels, that helps you, you know, be powerful from the get-go. On the other hand, you don't know what items you're going to be offered. So maybe being able to switch angels mid-run based on like the random ones you find, that could be interesting. That could be interesting, like the shotgun angel here, reroll. See, do I have infinite rerolls? I do have infinite rerolls. I don't think you are supposed to have infinite rerolls. Skip. I don't think you are supposed to have infinite rerolls, at least without any meta upgrades. I'm guessing that was left in as a way to just like playtest super like a bunch of angels. I'm gonna guess that there are gonna be limited rerolls in the normal version / the demo. Just something to note. But yeah, back to the angel thing, right? I think there is an argument to be made both for and against being able to switch angels mid-run. Also, being able to unlock the cursor, I would expect that to be because I can scroll over, or rather hover over, mouse over, whatever you want to call it, the items at the bottom and see what they do. But like, there's no tooltip for them. There's no tooltip to realize what the items do. I may forget. I am forgetful. Also, I did notice again, super brain-like delay there, but like I did notice again the demon horde spawn there. It just kind of appeared without like anything. It just kind of like popped in and popped out, but like not even in a pop-in animation kind of way. It literally just appeared and disappeared, like toggling a layer. At least like make it a little bit animated. It lacks prominence, that tooltip. It lacks prominence. I don't even know what upgrades I'm getting. This is not a commentary on the game. This is just me thinking out loud to myself. I just usually default to getting whatever is rare rather than making conscious choices. I don't know for sure if this is something subconsciously leading me to do that, or just like me monkey brain, Tox monkey brain. RPG angel. Holy grenade angel. Holy grenade. So there is more variety to the angels. There is more variety to the angels. Sick. Right now, I kind of just want to get to the end of a run just to be able to provide some feedback for that part as well. It does seem like some enemies get stuck in the wall as they're trying to traverse into this dimension. Nothing major. Nothing major, but like you can kind of see them clipping through. They're always gonna have a bit of a weird behavior. Not much you can do about that. Not entirely sure how that could be mitigated either. Like from a conceptual standpoint though, I do really like the portal idea. Because even when the enemies get stuck there, imagine if like there's a little spinning void hell portal thingy animation when they come through. Even if they get stuck, the portal would kind of cover them, and it would just give the illusion that there's like the portals are now like more permanently open or something like that, and it would be like, oh, it's getting real. It's getting real. The portals, they used to only traverse them and then they would close right back up, but now they're just staying open. even if it is just enemies getting stuck on the walls, essentially. Even if it is just that. You know what they say. You know what they say. It's not a bug, it's a feature. Ooh, 15 damage. 15% extra damage. Yeah, I love to see it. That's a lot of damage. 15%. Big number. And when I say a lot of damage or big number in that time around, it's like, it's not a comment on the balance. It just means saying things. It is very much just me saying things. I don't think... I'm not very much of a balanced person. I'm not looking at the numbers that much. I'm looking more at the feel of the game. Now, this is the first map. But again, I feel like it could be about... Or rather, at this point in the game, at this point in the round, the difficulty feels nice. I just feel like it could work to increase the initial round difficulty by maybe like 10-15%, around there, around that ballpark. Because the starting minutes up until the elite, the first elite, the thick mummy demon, that feels a bit easier compared to how I feel in the starting minutes of other bullet heavens. There's something going on here with the ends of thingy. I think that is a cross, but like something seems to be broken. Something seems to be broken there. It just kind of stretches in and out uncontrollably. Ooh. So right now we have 2.5 minutes, is 2 minutes 20 seconds left until we find out what happens when we essentially win. Will there be a boss? Will we get to provide feedback on a boss fight? Or will the buyers just come down and we kill these guys? Small suggestion from Corrados, add some JoJo poses to picking up crosses. You fool, he already has done that, I think. He's already done that, I'm pretty sure. I know for a fact he's added the jack-o'-lantern, and I did see a bunch of more poses in the pose item menu. I would not be surprised if JoJo poses have made their way in. Let me see. Ooh. Oh, it's not in the demo. I have leaked things. Worry not, friends, worry not. Oops, the heck. Oops, the heck. Don't hold it against me. Don't call the lumberjacks on me. Or the police. All the arsonists. There's a lot of danger for a tree. There are a lot of dangerous people for a tree. 48 seconds remain. I was warned about this. Every time an enemy spawns, he told me like things are not very well optimized. I forgot exactly what happens. But like the takeaway from that is that like, yeah, this is not optimized. Don't beware. You have been warned. I am starting to like feel a bit of lag spikes every time like there's a big wave of enemies coming in. Also, I know I said I'm not very much in the balancing numbers department in terms of feedback, but like, I think it would work better if like chests got more expensive as you go on. Like the more chests you open, the more expensive they get, similar to other bullet heaven games, Mega Bonk, what's the name? Risk of Rain, both 1, 2, and 3 turns. And maybe the mobile game. I think there's a mobile game for Risk of Rain. Did I hallucinate that? I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, the games where you have to purchase the chest openings, they usually get more expensive as it goes on to prevent inflation. Because right now, I'm getting just major inflation. Oh, okay. Okay, we have run out the timer. And it's coming up now. So we're going into an endless mode of sorts, I think. Maybe? Professionally dodge all of these. Now my confusion in this part is probably gonna be solved in the tutorial. Oh god, it's the Oni lady. Is she unkillable? Things like these tend to be unkillable. This has major Reaper at the end of the game vibes. At the same time, she does not seem that threatening. She does not seem that threatening. I'm pretty sure you can just like kite her. She's very, very, very slow. Which on one hand adds to the menace. It adds to the menace. I do not want to be hit by her because slow moving things tend to be super, super powerful. At the same time, I have a feeling I can keep kiting the enemies with my power. Which is kind of what you want, I guess. For an endless thingy. It does raise the question, which I believe will be answered in when the tutorial for the game and / or the actual mechanic for this is implemented. I have no idea what's going on with the summon with the blood summoning dudes. I was assuming the circle would open up, their seals would open up, and then like the blood door would go down and maybe a boss spawns there. Or something along those lines. I'm not entirely sure what their deal is outside of just being a bit of an obstacle, which I do like. I do like some verticality, some obstacleness here. That works very, very well. Especially since the enemies do seem to interact with it as well. They don't just walk right through it. Oh, I have run out of money. So one thing I am noticing is that it does really seem like enemy health is going up. I don't exactly know if I'm doing damage. I am shooting the boss. I do see numbers going up when I shoot her. I'm not entirely sure if it does damage to her. Let's try focusing down a little bit. Oh! She's left. Is that because I killed her? Is that because I slew the boss? Holy veteran deal. That was a lot of 9s damage. And I'm also noticing here that they start spawning on top of me more. And they are faster. Which again, good thing for an endless. At the same time, you can pretty much count the amount of enemies in the endless mode here on one hand. If you are sufficiently powerful by the looks of it. Like, there were a lot more enemies during actual waves. So maybe have increased, or other than increased speed and health and just, I guess, spawn proximity. I would also increase like the whole spawn rate of them. Also, all the chests here, we may need a maximum amount of chests. or something, because this is getting kind of ridiculous. Say somebody gets a super big mega run, goes up to like a half-hour overtime. Are we going to half-hour overtime, or is the game gonna crash from the excessive amount of chests first? Slash the person's computer. Because I imagine all these chests, they take up resources. They take up resources. They're not just sitting there for free. No such thing as a free chest. But yeah, again, balancing wise, I think endless is a bit too easy. If you get, I don't even know if I've gotten a super powerful build. I just feel like regularly powerful. And I've gone up to 4 minutes of overtime, and I feel like I could keep going. I genuinely feel like I could keep going. Part of me I'm just keep going just to see both how many chests it takes to crash the game, and to see if they eventually become more of a threat. Because I don't know if there's a cap. I don't know if there's a cap to them, to how powerful the endless demons can get. Or this is just this is just our life now. I am leaning more towards about 80%. I'm leaning towards this is our life now. Just running around the arena, kiting the demons. Although every now and then they do get a hit. They do get a decent hit on me. But at the same, wait! I spoke too soon. Hey, there we go. I died. Okay, so they do scale up. 5 minutes, 8 seconds of overtime. Yeah, I love to see it. That is a lot of damage. And what we were talking about earlier with this thing. Also, again, tooltip here, either a you win screen or you survived 5 minutes, like something to differentiate that you died from overtime, from I don't know what else. That said, I think that's about it. I cannot think anything else that I've not tested. Nothing else comes to mind. That said, good stuff! GG! I really like this Words. This is shaping up to be like sick. This is shaping up to be very, very nice. Because essentially from last time I saw developer thingies, because again I have seen some things behind the scenes. I have like we just talk. I'm friends with the guy. I'm friends with the guy. We've talked about this. I've offered like some advice here and there. I may download it. Give it a shot. Probably like 1 to 2 weeks before the demo comes up, more or less, is what I have been told. That said, I'm just gonna send this over to Goo. That's it. I don't know what else to do. It's also like about like around the normal stream time I usually do. I was not expecting this. I really thought this was gonna be a shorter stream, mostly because I'm super hungry. Holy. That said, I stream Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays when I do. You can check Twitter EU evenings. You can check Twitter and / join the Talksbox, my Discord server, to be updated when things happen. That said, thank you very much for coming, and I will talk to you later. Unless you tell people what you saw here today.